Craigie, a really exciting announcement for the club today with the appointment of Mark Harvey. Can you take us through how it's all come about?
Yeah, it is an exciting appointment, Shane. It was a thorough process we went through. We didn't advertise externally. We actually, just looked at people who were available in the industry and who we thought would actually be cover off on the criteria that we're looking for. Having lost Simon Goodwin to Melbourne, we were certainly looking for someone to come into that position that had a lot of experience, and clearly Mark ticks off and all that. Having been a great player, champion player for this footy club, but also more importantly the fact that he's been in the assistant coaching role before. He's had experience coaching the midfield. Obviously, he's had experience being a senior coach, so he understands the pressures that a senior coach gets put under. So he'll have great empathy, and in his working relationship with James in that aspect. Went to Brisbane, back probably in an assistant's role / coaching director's role, and I think coached 3 or 4 games there towards the end of Michael Voss's situation. So he's had an experience as an interim coach as well. So when we put all that together, and we had some other coaches that we spoke to, some outstanding conversations, but in the end we believe that Mark was the best fit for the Essendon Footy Club at this particular time.
I'm sure all the fans will be very excited. Obviously a former Essendon person. Do you think sort of with his experiences since he's sort of been away from the club and now coming back into the club, that'll hold him in really good stead? Yeah,
look, I'm sure our supporters would, the fact that Mark's been such a fantastic player for the club, they'd have great memories of Mark playing, I'm sure. And there's an emotional attachment there with our supporters, but that's certainly not the reason that Mark was able to secure the job. Your comment that he has been out of football for 12 months, and in some ways that was an interesting conversation because he's been away from the game. He's had a chance to reflect on a whole range of situations, with his coaching and working out of the game, and so a lot of our conversation was around a passion to do the job, which is really important in this industry, to have the passion to do it. So I think the time out of the game has been really healthy for Mark. I think that's been a great advantage for him, and he certainly comes back full of energy, full of passion, has a great commitment to the Essendon Football Club. So the purpose of why he's coaching is very strong and very clear to him.
From your conversations with the other coaches and James, how do you see him fitting into the structure, and what role is he going to play, I guess? Yeah, well, he's one of the 3 assistants, and he'll obviously play a big role there because he'll be working with the midfield in particular. In terms of James was obviously involved in a lot of the conversations with Mark. James is very comfortable with Mark being in that role, and obviously had a big input, in who his assistant should be, as he should. I know that Mark will be a great assistant to both Nathan Bassett and Matty Egan, just by the experience that he brings into our club, and the conversations that those guys will have, will be fantastic for their own professional development as coaches, as well as having been out of the game, and Nathan comes from a slightly different background, coming out of the SANFL, and has had 1 year in the AFL now. Those guys will have a lot to contribute and help Mark along the way as well. The Mark appointment is really exciting for the club. We've also got another vacancy at the moment, the development coach, head of development. How's that tracking along as it stands?
Yeah, that's been a lengthy process for us, Shane, but we're getting closer to be able to make an announcement there. A lengthy process. We've interviewed a lot of people. We're now down to a small number that when it comes to final decision making. So once again, I'm sure we'll get a really good person in that position to take over from James Byrne, and it's a huge role. It's an important role. Our development department is really significant in this football club. Even last year, I think we had 7 or 8 players debut last year, so just purely on the scoreboard of development department, they've done a fantastic job. But in our review, they've identified a whole range of new initiatives that can be done. So when we make that appointment, it should be all hands on deck for that person, because there's a lot of work to do, and But he's got great staff in Paul Corrigan and Hayden Skipworth there as two direct reports to that position, and he's got some great staff to work with. So that's an important appointment for us.
Craigie, thanks for the update today.
Anytime, thanks Shane.